Oh, was I muted? Oh my gosh. Thank you. I was like asking if the volume was okay and everything, and I was like, oh, is the background music too low? And I was turning it up. No! Ah, the scuff returns. Can you hear the game volume? Or the game sound? Hang on, my chat overlay. Refresh. Huh, it's not showing up. Yeah, gonna lawyer it up. Wait, that's so weird. The chat's not showing up on the screen. Yeah, RIP on-screen chat. No, why is it not working? Chat overlay. Turns out chat was the ghost the whole time. Oh, hey, Alex! Welcome to Ace Attorney. And apparently my chat is ghosting me. Yeah, Tofu's the big brain here. Refresh, maybe? Why is it not showing up? Okay, well, I guess we'll just keep going without it showing on screen. Maybe it'll show up later, hopefully. But let me see if it works on my other... Doesn't work on my other scene either. It's weird. Ah, another spam bot. Alright, well, I guess we'll just keep going. I don't know how to fix this right now. At least the bot won't show up on screen either, even if you guys aren't. But yeah, let's just get started, I think. Ooh, cutscene.
歴史的な開国から数十年、文明開化の大号令のもと、極東の島国にまさに今西洋文化の大波が押し寄せていた。活気に満ち溢れる帝都の民は変化、革新の熱気にむせ返り、その変化に戸惑う者も飲み込んで、時代は大きなうねりの中にあった。
Oh no, who did it?
そして今、そんな時代を舞台に一つの物語が幕を開く。
What? Isn't that the main character? Wait, do I have to defend myself already? It was self-defense. Maybe. I still can't believe it. Still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? Oh, Pan. What? Oh no, nothing. Savior glares murderer. Sorry. Maybe he pointed with the butter knife and our bro said not today. Show off my voice acting skills. My non-existent voice acting skills. I don't know if I can do like a different voice for every character. That's too much effort. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough! Who spoke? Wah! He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Wait, so I'm not a lawyer? Or do Ryunosuke's not a lawyer? Yet? Question mark? Yes, and until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. Where's this wind coming from? And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? He knows who I am. Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, No, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. Ha 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 ha! There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. This guy has, like, Edgeworth energy. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not! You have to believe me! I didn't do it! I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. Edgeworth, but not so serious. Yeah. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Aww. Kazuma Asogi, my best friend, also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I, a star student in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive considering he's still an undergraduate. Well, it's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan anyway. My qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma, truly. Aww. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma! It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. I know, I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's famous! He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. You mean the wind? I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner! He always wins because he threatens the prosecution with his katana. I'd believe it. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. That's when you shot a man. Asogi, may I have a word? Ooh. Girl character. Professor! I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asogi. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. Tell us about the girl. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke, I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. But who's the girl? What's the girl's name? I don't care about the old dude. Oh, this is awkward. If I may. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe? Yes, that's right. My name is Eugene Mikotova. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotova. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. Mikotova. That's probably some kind of pun, like ni kotoba means like words. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. What? Ah, as I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered. But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. Well, he's screwed. But I didn't do it. I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do? What? Like a wedding? But what will the question be? Surely not, do you accept the accusations brought before you? I thought it would be like, will you marry me? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. Yeah, Japan's legal system. Especially in this, like, time period. It would seem surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. I will marry you, Judge. Guilty verdict. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asuki must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as a defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. Ooh. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence, the trial that would decide my destiny. Let's go! Trial time! Ooh. His eyes! The eye darts. That's so great. This is a courtroom. Whoa! The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Yeah, they look scary. They don't have faces. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. Well, that's not shady at all. What? But why? It'll become clear in time, but for now... You need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. Why do I have to concentrate? You're the lawyer! Japan is a weird place where textures on people don't load. Whoa! The judge. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Ouchie! The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. As is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedures for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? Oh shit! This is it! This must be the question! Who's going to defend me? What's the question the professor... That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Yeah, let's do it. Let's go! Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will advocate for his defense. Hi! What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You'll be... What? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotova told me everything just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. Oh no! You think I won't be able to get you off. No, it's not that, really. It's just that... Well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotova shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Gavel. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel, really? Igiari! There it is! Igiari! Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent he's confident he can speak for himself. Wow, he's such a lawyer. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? His eye darts are cracking me up. Oh! Yes, exactly! Exactly what I wasn't thinking! I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature... Judicature? I don't even know. Of Japan. I can't English. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency! It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. Competence? My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. I mean, that's pretty reasonable. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. So let's start with the very simplest of questions. Oh, yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I'd care to remember. But, wait. I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryunosuke. You idiot. Let me guess, your mind's gone blank. You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. Yay. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with the press of R. If you ever find yourself if you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. I just have to press R for the court record? Alright, there's no time to lose. This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with R. You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press B to go back. Okay. John H. Wilson. Watson? The victim of this case. He was a visiting professor of medicine at Yume University from the British Empire. If only I had an R button to stop time and think. Yeah, that would be nice. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Got it! Now, you'd better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record, then press X to present. Try it now. Present. Hi! The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. What? Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yume University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. Wow, that's a mouthful. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil! You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education? Have you no honor? Dishonor on you! Dishonor on your cow! But I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly, our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Wow. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. A Brit! A wild Brit appeared! I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death. Well, obviously that was, Dunosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now. This. Okay, I'm doing it. Jeez. Well. Wow, so much paper. According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile! That's the post-mortem report, I take it. Sorry, yes! That's right! The, post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. That sounds kind of sus. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. Wow! A photographic print? You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Alright. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. Is this gonna be... Is there gonna be, like, analog technology in this again? So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. No, drawings are way better than photos. Very well, I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Watch out for clocks. Watch there be a clock puzzle in this game too. I'm gonna mulled. Ooh. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. Watch out for egg. There better not be eggs in this game either. This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotova? Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me, but that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Yeah, rein in the wind. I love this dialogue. Ooh, a fancy man. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Hosonaga. Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. Oh, they added the cough voice lines. Oh no, he has the TB. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really should. He's gonna spread disease to everyone. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery, 3 days ago. Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir. And no petty introductions from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. Japanese lunchtime rush. That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student. Hi! Hold on, let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him. Ikiyari! I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw. You amateur! Yoners, hi! Pai Ren. The next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized. Defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness. If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today. Yes, without question. Someone get that man, like, a chair. He's gonna keel over. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Yunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Oh, a woman. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Interject! Just a moment, please! Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There is a lady sitting with him at the same table. Ikiyari! Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? The glasses. The glasses flare. No, the deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Wow, he's prepared. Please, have a look if you'd like to. Let me see. A sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume? What, he doesn't have a, what was it, photographic picture? That's right, I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. So he saw a murder and then the first thing he thought to do was, like, draw on the back of his business card. It's a pretty good drawing. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. But he could have totally, like, made that up. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once! Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Oh no, he's dying! Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered into the court record. Did he, like, mark that X with his own blood? That he was coughing up. They probably don't have, like, red pens in this era. So the court has now heard a precis of the case. Blood is a good red ink, right? Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Until it dries and is brown. Oh, that's a good point. It would turn brown. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? Help! What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? He's like, you weakling. Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikotova said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. You serious bitch. That's totally what he's thinking. That is totally what his look says. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. Wah! The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. There it is, there's the point. Wow, what a badass. Let's go. Indeed, Prosecutor Ouchie, please continue with proceedings. I can't get over that. Ouchie. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses. Very well. Officer, bring forth the witnesses at once. Who's next? Who's next? Oh. Wow. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. The great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Iesanosa, reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd District. Kyuryo Korekuta at your service. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. That dude's head looks like it got stuck in a taffy machine. That's so true. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon. And not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I take my business. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. Someone stuffed that old lad with an exclamation mark. The only crime here is Prosecutor Ouchie's haircut. Truth. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Like you? Oh, and hi, Quad! Welcome! Right, I see, although to be honest... That sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. His mustache, it's so... triangular. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearms, sir. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. Oh, what? So this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir. Standing by ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. That old guy is shaking. What the witnesses saw. Alright, let's go. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak. A regulation beefsteak? At the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of her particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. That baby again! I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Ingesting makes it sound like he shoved it up his nose. I was on my hands and knees, investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. But he has a knife! Why does he have a knife? What times we live in when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. You're the one standing there with a knife. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes, all I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. Why would you do that? Why would you pick up the gun? After I'd said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant. When I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, bang. Well, if that's the truth, there is obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Yunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now! Okay. As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of the— Hi! Objection! Objection! What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? I mean, the defense demands its right to a cross-examination. His eyes. Where are you looking at, Yunosuke? Dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. Hachimaki headband boy next door? Huh? How did he know? The prosecution objects! This is a clear waste of time! The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination? Igiari! The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Gulp. He's intimidated. Kazuma is so commanding! Yunosuke's totally fangirling. Or fanboying. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Yunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. Man, where's all the BL? I bet you there's BL of this game. There's no way there isn't. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means what that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it, and the key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. Yeah, he gulped with an explanation mark. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Table slam! Ha! Now let's go, Yunosuke! Don't let them beat you! Of course, there's always a way to make Edgeworth fit in the BL. I like how he just looked over at him. That was so cute. He's like, is this okay? Gotta check with Bae. What the witnesses saw. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion. Wait, okay, L to press. Hi! Edgeworth? Why aren't you saying anything? Is this some new interrogation technique? I hadn't actually thought of what I wanted to ask. Just ask about anything that catches your attention, anything that bothers you. Alright then, he's raising his hand. It's so cute. This beefsteak you mentioned, what kind of food is that? Beefsteak is a delicious cut of veal vigorously cooked on a cast iron grill and served piping hot. Oh. If food could receive medals of honor, beefsteak would be almost as highly decorated as a cutlet. Right, I see. Thank you, sir. So, next question. This cutlet you mentioned, what kind of food is that? That's so cute. Attention. Cutlet is a delicious cut of veal tossed in breadcrumbs and deep fried in cooking oil. Yeah, you're right, Pi, it's veal. Accept your guilty verdict, atone for your crimes, and when you're released from prison, try it! Try it! Yes, sir, I will, sir! On the double, sir! Sorry to interrupt, but how about trying to stick to questions that are relevant to the case? Oops, sorry. I'll do my best. There's a grammar mistake in this case? Okay, I'll look out for that. So, next question. Is it just me, or do you keep hearing a sort of wah? Negative! Well, at least we've learned that he's a big beef lover! Man, that guy would work well in the marketing field. Yeah, try it! Affirmative. It's not easy knowing what questions to ask. Oh, I got an achievement for asking about beef. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio. Yes, explain what that means. I have no idea what you're talking about. A koban boy? A koban? You mean an old Edo coin? The day prior to the incident, a treasure of exceptional value from the Hoei period entered my possession. I took myself to the restaurant the following day, with said item secreted in my bosom pocket, in the hope of an affluent cognoscente appraised of its indisputable value being present. So, you were hoping to sell your koban coin? To Sergeant Nosa, whom you met at the restaurant? Yes, it's quite clear where you're going with this boy. You were about to assert that a penniless soldier would have no hope of purchasing a precious koban. Isn't that so? Well... You little upstart cadet! You want to add disrespecting a superior officer to your list of crimes, do you? Blatant subordination! You mean insubordination? No, I didn't say anything! Although penniless might be just the word I was looking for. In any case, the hour was already advanced beyond that of the midday luncheon. There remained precious few present with whom I could engage in discourse about matters of business. The gentleman aside me, who was grappling with his braised veal at the time, was my sole prospect. I see. Okay, so only veal guy was there. Welcome back, Pi. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. Yeah, just in time for Ryunosuke to embarrass himself. When does he ever not? So you're saying that you actually saw me at that time? Affirmative! I saw you! laughing, cackling like a madman as you trained the barrel of your gun on the English civilian. But that's impossible. I only... Allow me to confirm just one point, please. What's that, Private? Thinking carefully about the statement you just made, it seems to me that it must have been just after you heard the gunshot that you looked over to the victim's table. And so what if it was? Well, if that really is the case, it would mean that you didn't in fact see the precise moment when the killer actually fired the gun. Ah! And double R! My sixth sense. Sorry? My sixth sense of danger! I picked up the waves of murderous energy radiating from your foul mind. He's got the spidey sense. Which means, a split second before you pulled the trigger, I was looking right at you, Cadet. Surely that's not really possible, is it? Do you think I'd have got where I am today in the army if I couldn't sense danger in the air, son? Well... It would seem this soldier is absolutely convinced that he saw you do the deed. Yeah, they totally should have, like, tons of arm injuries after each court case, considering how hard they slammed the tables. This is not good. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back. I guess let's just press everything. So this black uniformed university cadet, you're saying that was... I've had just about enough of your sauce, Cadet. Who else do you see around here in black uniform, hmm? Well, there's someone standing right next to me who fits the description as well, but... It was you, you little weasel! You unloaded the firearm on that man! From behind his back, and you call yourself a citizen of the great empire of Nippon? You disgust me! Wait, so he this face! Why is this face so funny? What is it, Yunosuke? I'm not quite sure. It's something that the sergeant just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something's playing on my mind. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you gathered in the court record. And if you find an inconsistency there with what the witness just said, then don't hold back. Present the evidence to the court. Thrust it in the witness's face and make him choke on. Bro, like, calm down. This, because he was shot in the front, not the back, so... Present. He looked like Speed Racer. He did look like Speed Racer, that, like, mouth shape. Speed Racer is a psychopath. What are you playing at, Cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache? Inconsistency, sir! I mean, yes! I like how he has to check. His little table slam is like the quietest sounding, like... So cute. I mean, yes, there's a clear inconsistency here. What nonsense! What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. Wait, was I wrong? This is so frustrating. No, you... Yeah, help him, help him. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. Oh, hey, type! Welcome! Yunosuke is giving you secondhand embarrassment. Same! To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Ah, he's so cool! This is so cute. What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? Sergeant Iesa Nosa? Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on an English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir. Hi. But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because he's looking over at Cosmo. Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Ah. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? The baby! There's a baby! What the... What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. It's a baby! Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. His mutant third arm. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were... This baby is so cute. Ah! Firmly fixed on the delicious La Carnival steak, sir! What? The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Iesanosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. That's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Damn. Look at Yunosuke's face. Is no one gonna, like, question the baby? There's been a complete turnabout, in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy. Isn't lying in court illegal? Yeah, technically. Roasted. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. Name drop, name drop. But I definitely saw him. Oh, baby. Oh, the baby. That university cadet there. He was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back. Hi. But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either? Okay, see you later, Joe. Ace Attorney, the name of the game. Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure? Indeed, the Hoei era koban! My prized coin! On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Rasute, in the hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I preferred my Hoei treasure. Believe that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not, but I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished. The koban vanished? Hunting around under the table, I was, in case, mayhap it had fallen there, and then it happened. Why is he talking like Yoda? Wah! You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoei treasure. What? What if it, like, shot you? Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoei koban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Ouchie? Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well, the court invites the witnesses to testify again. We will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as Kiriko glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir, at once, sir! Awaiting signal to testify, sir! Can we get the baby to testify? That's really his full name. Yeah, Naruhodo. Just like, Phoenix Wright's Japanese name is also Naruhodo. He's like a descendant of this guy, I guess. Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Did the baby eat the coin? Actually, maybe. Affirmative, the newest member of the Nosa family to rise up through the ranks, sir. Name, Idol. Aww. It would seem those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Ido. Tension. Your father is about to call the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. Whoa. The snot bubble. He's so cute. Alright, round 2. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man, he was. That young lad in black. That much I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. That baby's just getting, like, bounced around. Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Please, enough of these outbursts already. But there was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her. Ikiyari! If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. In Holland / the Netherlands, a bird was put to jail? And they put bars over his eyes? What? I need to look that up. That sounds really funny. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. Some dude got dug out from his grave to testify? What? I thought Ace Attorney was crazy, but maybe real life is crazier. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact. Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime, counsel? Oh no, not a photographic print. Indeed, of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly be seen, there is only one place set. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. Arrgh. This doesn't make any sense. Oh no, steak. The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. Yay, more evidence. A bottle of carbonated water and a steak lunch can be seen on the victim's table. Huh. So they already knew how to carbonate water back then? When was soda invented, actually? I don't know. I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. Did Kazuma not see it? Because he was there too. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true. I saw her. I swear that I saw a woman with him. A village in England hung a monkey? These are such weird stories. I'm gonna look these all up later. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. I better not have to, like, know how to telegraph things in this game. The witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt. These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Taketsuchi Aoshi, will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor. Oh no! How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule! Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. Yeah! If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. Bay's got my back. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick. Understood? War of the bucket? Just for a bucket, they rallied to war. What? Rules can be so unbending at times. He's sweating bullets. Alright, let's go. The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. It is not almost the same thing. No, 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 it's not the same thing at all! For a start, I didn't fire that gun. We have a difference of opinion on that. The opinion of a uniformed officer versus that of a fledgling cadet. I don't think so. Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked. Did you? We can't see. Did you? Did you see it? Did you see me blink? No, because of your glasses. How could I? And yet, it is an undeniable fact that I did blink. So there you have it. Alright. Hartlepool rugby team is named the Monkey Hangers? Yeah, people used to burn women thinking they're witches. Make bridges? Wow. You guys know some crazy cases. Or have what? Tension. The little fan. The sound of the firearm rang in my ears, and the very next moment, I saw you waving the gun at the Englishman. I think that says it all, don't you? Grrr. Let us not forget that the antiques dealer witnessed the accused in this most incriminating position as well. Isn't that so, Korekuta-san? Huh? Oh. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was, that young lad in black, that much I myself did see. Wait, let me just go through all of these and see what... Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel. Oh yeah, the Aussies, the Emu War. Yeah, he was trying to find his coin. Yeah, maybe I'll press this. Yes, it may be true that I was holding the gun at that point in time. But I've told you already! That's only because I picked it up off the floor! Like an idiot! Well, obviously, as the culprit, that's the only way you could explain it away. I mean, he's not wrong. I had just finished drinking my coffee and I was about to leave the restaurant when... I noticed a gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. And at exactly that moment... Bang. A gunshot rang in my ears. Full of events beyond our control, life is. Sorry? What do you mean? In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated this testing predicament. Whereas conversely, I failed to pick up the koban from the floor and find myself in an equally testing predicament as a result. Anyway, the fact remains, myself, I did see you, with pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were only... alone. You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there. Ikiari. As you have been at pains to point out time and again, I feel I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet, no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman. Wait, court record. I probably need to use this. Kitchen entrance. Oh. No, I don't know how that would help. If only there'd been more people dining there at the time, and someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know, of course the place was almost empty. It's what you'd expect. Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone. Yes, Your Excellency. There was indeed a reason. There was? Oh! More evidence! This was found in the victim's jacket pocket. What is that, Counsel? It is a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant. Hotta? Clinic? Yes, there would indeed appear to be an entry for the date in question. 19th November, noon to past 1 p.m. The very day of the incident. So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case. I wonder... What do you think, Ryunosuke? Well, it is hard to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I ask for the medical report card? Yes. If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern. Igiyari! Whether or not they are of concern is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues. I beg your pardon? You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Kazuma commanding the courtroom. Very well, the court will grant the defense's request. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's a most disturbing trend. Those rights. Yeah, those youngsters and their rights. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record. What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Wait, let me look at it now. Oh, I can't, like, read it or anything? Okay. Right, I hear you. You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's the day after the festival already for you. Yeah, I can filibuster. I'll filibuster the trial. Or perhaps you'd forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Korekuta-san. Indeed, alone he was the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Okay. Let's press again. So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone? That I did. Forgive me for the position I placed you in. So the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. As can clearly be seen, there is only a single beefsteak on the victim's table, a meal for one. Maybe she was eating the flowers. No. The antique dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea. Eating the flowers like a goat. Yeah. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. I mean, what if it was one of you guys? What if it was the baby? Why aren't you telling the truth? What did you say, cadet? I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible. Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruhodo, it's not just a case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry? The waiter, whose testimony the court heard earlier, clearly stated the same thing. He also said that the victim was alone. That's right. Precisely, in other words, you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady. Who are you calling a phantom lady? But I... If such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof. And if no such proof exists, the prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It is a blatant waste of the court's time. Phantom lady? Yeah, that's me! It was me! I was the phantom lady. I was eating the flowers. Yes, it was me all along. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. Oh, thanks, Bae. We've gleaned some new information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. That's what I was trying to do earlier! How exactly? By reading it? You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine. Press A and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Okay. Use... Yeah. Joysticks. To rotate evidence. By using left... Huh? Oh, you can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues. Okay. If the crosshairs start to pulsate, press A to investigate further. Teaching Ryunosuke how to read. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining it in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Okay. Oh, this is so cute! There they are! It says Hota Clinic on this medical report card. I hate clinics almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? When I was 5, I caught the only cold I've ever had in my life. Wow, that's lucky. And I remember, even though I felt awful already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. Brr, I'll never forget it. Never in my whole life. Most people would give their right arm to have had only one cold in their whole life. Anyway, I don't think this is a clinic where they treat people for illnesses like that. Let's keep looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. It's upside down. It looks like this medical report card was first issued quite some time ago. It's probably a record of long-term treatment, that's why. With the family doctor, I imagine. Well, I can't imagine. Going to a doctor, I mean. As long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting with— No! Ryunosuke! He's a freaking, like, anti-vax, doesn't want to get injections. Come on. Ryunosuke. Well, if you were dead, there'd be no point. So you don't like doctors then? Why would you? They make you drink horrible tasting medicine to give you painful injections. And then they demand lots of money from you for the privilege. Oh, and you're at your lowest ebb. Ebb? You sound like a model patient. With a bad case of stubbornness, no less, for which the only cure is very bitter medicine indeed. I got an achievement for that? What? How did he live long enough to get any descendants? Yeah, he should have died from, like, tuberculosis or something. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he'd had a bad tooth removed. Oh, so he couldn't have eaten the steak, because his teeth hurt. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed. Ah. Oh, I see. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. Okay. With this new information, he's saying that like he doesn't know what information is. The meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. So I think it's time you listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely! Yeah, he couldn't have been eating the steak. Okay, I guess it's this. Because he couldn't have been dining. Tried to chew with a bad tooth once. Terrible idea. Yeah. Especially back in the old days. How do I... Oh, yeah. R to present. Ha. Hi! Well, I think, about what are you wittering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer? I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Yunosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Huh? Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. I feel like that's kind of dangerous. Alright, and thanks for the advice. Korekuta-san. This is a medical report card belonging to the victim. Ah, I see, and... I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement? Something clearly doesn't add up. Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But... let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. But that's... Remember, Yunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. He's a liar. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There's surely no need to prolong this trial further. Isn't he the one interrupting? Oh, yeah. The witness testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else besides this pale-faced pupil. Oh. Ooh. He did it! He did the table slam! He went full strength. This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that? What? That outburst half petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hata Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? He's never heard of a dental clinic. Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted? What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating. Just what are you trying to say, Cadet? He had orders not to eat, so what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't. Korekuta-san. What boy, what? As you just heard, when he was killed, sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there's more? You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case! Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic. Expertly done, partner. Thanks, Kazuma. What is this nonsense, you little upstart? These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table. Igiari. Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic? How dare you? I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. Ayy. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke? Yes, most definitely. Cue the music. So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beefsteak? It was the lady. It was me. The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel? Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Should just be declared innocent for that pun. Got it. So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been the lady. Obviously, it could only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table. Kikiyari! You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person. Hi. There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Slam. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our... We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. I can't read. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage. Oh? You'll cut them down? We will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial, relentlessly, with your sword. Kazuma. Are you insane? You would take on the government? The Edgeworth Temple point. Don't worry, Council, I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them! Those two witnesses in the stand. What? What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Perjury. And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Ooh. Complicit in murder? No. No! Well, the baby opened its eyes. Hold it! Negative. There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. Tactical meeting? I was just following orders. That's right, as the man says. To say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they, told us. Oh. What? What did you just say, Korekuta-san? The baby's also complicit. Yeah, the baby's also a witness. Oh, no. You were just following orders? Now hold on, lad. I was, say you never saw the gentlewoman? Grr. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with the lady from overseas? Yeah, we did it! They ratted themselves out! What? Ikiyari! What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair? You pair. He's gonna start freaking out. Just one simple slip of the tongue! Order, order! Council, explain what is going on here. It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Ooh, this close-up. Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this. He always looks at his hand. Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? Oh, so Ouchie didn't know? Yeah, I guess he's not, like, part of the conspiracy. He's just dumb. That's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? Baby! He's tugging his mustache. You wouldn't... This can't be happening. Do you know, Ske? Judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Ouchie had any idea about it. Yeah. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut. Wait. Yeah, how am I supposed to know? Where's the evidence? Of course we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly... Remember how we made progress before? Before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Oh yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe. Please, wait, Your Excellency. I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing. And what does the defense have to say about all this, well, Your Excellency. No time to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head. Wait, should I look at the court record first, then? Or not yet? I don't know. Can I... Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? It's Satoru Hosonaga. Well, yes, business cards tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected, it's his job title. His job? Oh. Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police... Okay, so it was him. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here... okay. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is... this guy. X. Hi! Hi! Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. Hosonaga-san? The waiter who took the stand earlier? Idiari! Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter. What? If he truly were... Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity as proven by this evidence. Present. Hi! Hi! The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question? I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I should have said the front? Yes! It's the front of the back of the card! That's where the telling detail is. The front of the back. This guy. Man, this court case is scarily as long as in real life. Yeah, this is just like the first case and it's already so long. Could somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession. His true profession. The waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before? How do they work for the court and, like, not know the police detective? Absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... Hold it! They're not very good at framing people for murder. Yeah. Inspector Hosonaga. Was he standing there the whole time? I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well, yeah, he was nervous. Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. Ooh, the glasses push. It was an unusually careless mistake. So, you mean to say you really are a detective? But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course! Your salary must be terrible! I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? Yeah, this music. Ace Attorney music's always so good. That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga. But you will elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. You have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. Works undercover but has a business card for his real profession. Yeah, what an amateur. If that is indeed true, clearly you would have also been aware of this person's presence, having served at that table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you require these witnesses to be in agreement. Yeah, he lied! Would that be correct? Oh no, he's gonna fake dying now to get out of it. Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable! As I suspected. Huh? As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the bureau. I always use a napkin to clean the false blood. The white cloth. Ooh. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say... remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. Oh yeah, maybe he did get shot and that's why he's like bleeding. Or coughing up blood. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. What, is she like the queen or something? But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interests not to pursue that idea. Ha? The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect? Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right. Oh. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Cosma? UMay University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman. Oh. He's got all the deets. You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The English woman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Jaelen Brett. She is indeed a foreign student, studying in the research laboratory of UMay University's medical faculty. What is happening here? I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to Your Excellency to decide how to deal with this situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point. Giselle? That's a rifle name? So she's totally the killer then. But Your Excellency, that would be missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send a telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions. Calm yourself, Council. Yeah, calm yourself. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. What a Chad. Ugh. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir? You will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau. As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. Okay, so he's helping us now? So it won't be a problem? Don't die. What if he like dies before he can... Oh my gosh, this pose. Ah! Nothing will get in my way. Okay, I like him now. He became our nakama. Court will adjourn briefly. Prosecution must call the English student Giselle Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Your Excellency! Good, then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. Why is no one talking about him actually dying? Yeah, no one cares. He's just standing there coughing up his guts, and it's like, yeah, go find the witness. Save. Yes. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so I think that's probably a good stopping point, because this has been really long. Ooh, wait. Menu? Wait. How do I get back? Okay. Yeah. Save. This is not the title. Oh. I already saved. Go back up. God damn it. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm done for today. Darn it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was hoping I could get through, like, at least the first case or something, but I think that's gonna take a really long time, and I think my voice is about to, like, give out. So, yeah, maybe I'll keep going with this next week or something. But yeah. Tomorrow I'm gonna do my, making of my anime list stream, so we'll, talk about anime, and I'll rate some of my favorites, and we'll make a list. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for coming. Glad you had fun. Sorry for I had to like read out all the dialogue. I don't know how to voice act. Don't eat any flowers. I'll try not to. I'll eat the beef steak instead. But yeah, thanks so much for coming. I'll be back again tomorrow, and then Happy New Year after that. So, yeah. Let's see. Alright, Otsuyana. Bye-bye. Have a good night.